Hi, I'm now going to demonstrate a product we have on the tvtrade.ie website, which is called the coaxial male, the F connector. So we see an example of it directly in front of me here. Now, I'm just showing the two ends of it here. On this end here we have a coaxial male connection, and on this end we have an F connection for an F joiner, okay? So the reason that we have this particular product on the website is within the TV industry there's two very widely used types of cables. The first one here is, you'll see in front of me here, it's a coaxial cable, or coaxial connectors, okay? So on the right hand, or left hand side, we can see the actual coaxial connector itself, and on the right hand side would be a joiner that would be used in conjunction with this, okay? So I'm just going to demonstrate this quickly here. I'm just going to pick up the coaxial connector and the joiner like this, and what happens is it actually just pushes into position like this, okay? And obviously we'd have another coaxial joiner on the right hand side here, so this is an effective way of joining two coaxial cables. Now most products in the consumer or in the electronics industry come with these type of connectors. So for instance, televisions or DVDs or videos that have RF outputs on them or inputs will be of the coaxial type. The disadvantage of them is they're more expensive to manufacture than the other main type of connector, which is an F connector. And the other major disadvantage of them is they don't give a secure connection in terms of it's easy to pull them apart simply because they're pushed together, and also that they give a high level of signal loss across the connection. Okay. Now, what's becoming very much the industry standard is the F connector, which we see in front of us here. So on the left hand side again we have the connector itself, and the right hand side the joiner. So this would be used for the joiner again would be used for joining two types of coaxial or two types of F terminated cables together, okay? And quickly to demonstrate it again, I'll simply pick up the F joiner, the F connector, and I rotate it like this, and it gives a very, very secure join. So if I try to pull it apart, it won't come apart, okay? So we'll come back to our specific product we're talking about here, which is the male coaxial connector going to a female, and specifically where would we use this. So I can think of two specific areas where we'd use it. Normally we'll say if on the back of a satellite, or if we're feeding an aerial into a skybox, for instance, okay, there's an RF input here, okay? So the RF input pushes in like this. Just rotate this box slightly in like this, and it's a simple connection. But if we had a situation where we have a cable there that's been terminated with an F connector like this, we'd actually have to take off this connector and put on a coaxial connector to get this to fit. But with the adapter, we simply would pick up the adapter, just give a moment to focus here, and we will actually just push this F joiner in here like this and rotate it into position. And then this cable here is very quickly adapted to go into this box here, okay? Now another situation where we would use it, I'm just going to move this box out of the way, is if we were in an attic and we had a number of distribution systems, okay? So imagine a situation where you go into an attic and you discover that you have, we'll say, a distribution system that for whatever reason is not working or not big enough, and you've bought a new distribution system, but you found on the old system that it's all F-type inputs and outputs, and all the cables in the attic are already terminated with these F connectors, okay? So you're in a situation here where it's perfect for the distribution system you had used previously, but you're about to implement a new system that actually turns out to have coaxial inputs. Now normally coaxial distribution systems like this are cheaper to buy, and certainly if you're in the DIY industry, it's much more likely if you go into Argos or something like this to buy a distribution system, it'll be this type of coaxial outputs you get. So normally what you have to do at this point is you have to remove all of the coaxial the F connectors and put on coaxial connectors instead of it. But with the adapter, it's a very, very quick and simple changeover. We simply come along, we get this adapter, we just initially push it in, twist it into location, and suddenly it's adapted to work with the new thing. So you can see it gives great flexibility, it gives a great connection, and they're relatively inexpensive. So I would say like this is a sort of an invaluable tool both for people in the DIY industry or people who are DIYing themselves, because it's very easy to fit, where a coaxial connector is far more complicated to put on. This is just push and screw and it works instantly. And also we'll say for professionals, this is a great adapter to have, simply because it saves time and saves money and makes the adaptation from one type of system to another extremely easy. So that's it from beginning to end, the Coax male to F adapter.